Did Showtime's gritty new Hollywood drama win over Denny and the guys? Find out today on Variant Edition.
Hey everybody, welcome to Variant Edition. We're here today in TV shows to talk about Ray Donovan, the new Showtime series, which premiered after the season premiere of Dexter, Sunday nights at 10. So I'm here today with Adam Lugabill from Comic Swap and John Secreto from Comic Swap. So Ray Donovan, which is about a fixer in Hollywood, you kind of reminded me of like the Wolf from Pulp Fiction. I guess maybe that he was supposed to.
But prettier.
Yeah, but a lot prettier. So starring Liev Schreiber from the Scream movies, which is the most important thing he's done, obviously. He was in the first 3 Scream movies. Was he in Scream 4?
I don't know.
You watched that, right?
Yeah, at some point.
I never watched it. So he was in the Scream movies. He's Sabretooth and Wolverine. He's in lots of other things as well. Also, John Voight. And the wife is from Deadwood. What's her name? Paula
Malcolmson.
Malcolmson from Deadwood. Awesome actress.
She's awesome. She's great.
Yeah, she's amazing. So, John, we'll go to you first.
Okay.
How did you like Ray Donovan?
I liked it a lot. I liked it because it's the kind of show that I like, but I also thought it was a really good pilot setting up the characters in the show. Obviously Ray, who's this very intense fixer kind of guy, willing to do anything to solve a problem, works for actors and agents and athletes in Hollywood. But it's also a pretty good family drama. Lots of cool stuff with both his family, his wife and kids, but also with his brothers and his dad. Lots of history.
Can I interrupt for a second to say that you mean a drama about families, not a drama for families?
Right. Oh, no, yeah, it is not for families.
Definitely don't want to watch this one with the kids.
No. Yeah, so yeah, it's... I thought it was a great pilot. It set everything up nicely. Made me want to watch more, which I think you can't really ask for much more than a pilot.
Right.
Really good actors. Liev Schreiber seems like a role that he was kind of born to play.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
John Voight is insanely good as well as the father.
Yeah. Intense, like great style. Has both like the gritty kind of gangster thing going on, but also the slick Hollywood style, which I think is a pretty good mix. Kind of like a way that they did things in The Sopranos, like like it has like a kind of glitzy side, but also a pretty grungy side. So yeah, I thought it was really great. Made me want to watch more. I had said to before, it seems like the kind of show that we like, and it sets up more things.
I would have been very surprised if you didn't like the show.
Yeah,
or I didn't like this show.
Yeah.
So, but Adam on the other hand probably didn't like the show. So, what did you think of Ray Donovan?
I thought it was good. It was. It's hard to watch a show that's about Denny. Like, if Denny had gone down a life of crime, who he would have... Well, yeah. Anyway, just all the decisions that Ray Donovan makes in the film are exactly the decisions that Denny would make placed in that situation.
I think so.
When faced with the decision of walking away or punching someone in the face, Ray Donovan punches someone in the face.
Right. Unless they're an actor, then he just breaks their hands.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of decisions. Anyway, it was fun. I liked it. I felt like at the end of the first episode, I think I said this to you, I was like, yeah, that was good. I feel very fulfilled by that one episode. I don't need to watch any more of this stuff.
Right.
I'm sure that I'll continue to watch it and like it a lot, but it was a very final, I don't know, not final, but like
standalone.
Standalone.
Yeah, it's very well rounded.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. There were actually some surprising things that I wasn't crazy about, or that I liked in this standalone environment, but I don't know how I'm going to like them as a whole series. So the show has, part of the show is about him solving problems in Hollywood, right? And actors get into trouble or athletes get into trouble, and he has to cover up their messes. And that part was really interesting to me, especially about someone who's like from the streets of, like, I assume they're from Boston, they're from Massachusetts.
Yeah,
so
Boston,
someone who's from the streets of Boston and like grew up hard, and his dad's been in jail for most of his life, and he's been through all this trauma, and now he lives in this like totally different environment, and so he's like the hard guy. But the parts of the show that kind of threw me off a little bit were the flashbacks and like him still connecting with his family from Boston. And I like the characters of his brothers and the character of his dad, but the actual flashbacks themselves felt a little like weird and heavy-handed to me.
Yeah.
They reminded me of a lot of other shows that have already happened and movies. Like, it reminded me of like Sleepers a little bit, or Mystic River, like these shows where kids are like damaged as children and then they grow up into these kind of disturbed adults.
Yeah.
And that won't be fun to watch on a week-by-week basis.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to think about kids being molested by priests every Sunday night at 10. That's going to be really upsetting really quickly.
I would like to think that was just because it's the pilot. The pilot has some time issues too, like the fact at one point he goes back to Boston, right? And like because
Does he?
maybe it was like
I
a
don't think so.
flashback.
It must have been a flashback.
I was
don't
like
think he
really, I
does.
was confused at one point. I was like, is he talking to his brothers in L.A. or in
Oh,
Boston?
right. I think they all live in LA.
Right, they must.
Yeah.
Right, and then his dad comes to L.A. after he gets out of prison, but his dad was in prison in Boston.
Correct.
So I was like, at one point, I was like, where is he? Is he going back and forth? And like, I don't
Yeah.
know. And again, I think that's probably a product of them trying to fit all of this exposition into the first episode of the pilot. And I hope that doesn't happen all the time. Like I assume it's an LA show, right? I mean, it looks like LA.
I assume that it's going to take place all in
Yeah.
LA. I would be surprised if they start
Yeah.
going back and forth to Boston
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely would recommend it. It's definitely dark, and
Yeah.
I don't think that it's for everyone. It's kind of gritty. It's not like as noir as the trailers kind of like made me think it was going to be.
Because
there's
there's
definitely
elements of that though.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there is still the Hollywood side of it is a big side of it, and you see like these really like prissy kind of people, and like the contrast is what's entertaining about the show.
Yeah.
I kind of, in the first episode, I would have almost preferred if the show had focused more on the relationship between him and his wife and the sort of crazy, like, shenanigans that he gets into for his job, rather than his brothers and his father. Because that stuff was interesting, but not as
Yeah.
interesting to me as him being a fixer and being married
Yeah,
to
they touch on
Trixie
it very
from Deadwood.
quickly, you know, like
Yeah.
they touch on it like about how she's kind of fed up with him making these decisions and his relationship with the actress, and like so this is something that she's clearly seen him do before and is not really happy
That
with
was
it.
very very similar to the Sopranos kind of thing.
Yeah.
That the show starts
Yeah.
with their relationship is already like super strained, and
Yeah.
she's on the verge of kicking him out all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. It was interesting. One of the things that I thought about when I was watching the show was like this whole concept of the TV antihero, which is something that's been coming up, especially with like so much about James Gandolfini dying and like the like how important The Sopranos is, and like Walter White from Breaking Bad, and now this kind of character, or somebody like Dexter, where like these people are not people that you would like in real life, but
Right.
you root for them in the show, but it has to work in order for you to do like you have to want to do that, which may be something like you said, like maybe you didn't like it as much as you could, because like they're not really likable people, you know what I mean?
I actually think that Ray Donovan is significantly more likable than any of the other characters you named.
Yeah.
If you were to meet
I
him
think
in
so.
real life.
I think so too. I mean, he definitely is intimidating, and like he has very few lines in a lot of the scenes.
Yeah.
But he has this kind of like charm to him that like you get the impression that he's this noble kind of guy who just is also hyper violent.
I mean,
like whatever.
cheating on your wife's not very noble.
Right. That's true.
It's weird though. I was kind of talking to Denny about this a little bit before. I kind of have a problem with every character cheating on their wife by default.
Yeah.
Like, why
Yeah.
couldn't Ray Donovan have been a bad dude who just was totally?
Yeah, I mean,
Would it be less interesting if he wasn't?
maybe
fooling
it's more
around?
interesting if he's like incredibly devoted to his family and is
Yeah.
unwilling to do anything outside of that because of, you know, even
I think
though
it would
he's
be more interesting to
Yeah,
me.
even though
I
he's
think
put in
so,
all
too.
these situations. That's
And I was surprised that it happened. Like
Yeah.
everything that the show had built up so far with his family, like I really believed in him and his family. And
But it's funny that like I thought about that too. Like I was surprised that he did it, but he does it instantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it almost tells you like he's done this thing before. He's made these
Yeah,
mistakes
I think
before,
so.
and like that. And hopefully it's going to be important going forward in the show. The show that he makes these kind of mistakes over and over and over again.
right.
Like you did.
On that note, Ray Donovan. So I think we all recommend it, right?
Oh yeah,
Universal.
definitely.
Yeah,
All right.
I loved it.
It's not without its flaws, but I thought that the first episode was very promising.
Right. Yeah. So I have a lot of hope. It reminded me. I think it's better, but it reminded me a little bit of what was that show we've been watching about the sheriff who
Banshee?
Banshee.
Oh, I like Banshee so much.
We'll talk about Banshee another time, but it did remind me a little bit of
Yeah.
Banshee, like this super badass guy who goes around, and for some reason it's just really entertaining to watch him beat people up.
See, I think that Banshee I like more, like immediately. Not to say that it will be better in the long run, because Banshee fully embraces the fun of being a bad guy. And
Right.
this show, I can already tell, is going to punish you for liking Ray Donovan.
Yeah, probably.
It seems like it.
And that's one
That
thing
makes
that
me
I
like it more.
really like about Banshee is he is a total dick, and it's totally okay
sure.
on Banshee. Like,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you are allowed to think that's cool.
That's true. It is fun in that way.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Ray Donovan, check it out.
You want my shirt?
I want your shirt, baby.
Let's you and me trade shirts.
I don't want any. You guys have any fabric or anything?
I don't know what that means.
I don't really know that. Yes?
You want a shirt?
I have shirts. Fucking give the dog a bath today. I don't like doing that.
have a giant thing of plastic bags? Who doesn't have a giant thing of plastic bags inside other bags?
We have Schreiber.
Schreiber.
Ray's
Paul
wife.
Malkinson.
Freaking says Ray's wife right
Whose
there.
wife is it though?
Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan.
Ray Donahue?
Ray Donahue?
Rave Donahue. We have Schreiber.
Dash Midhawk. Bunchy.
I was hearing it as Punchy.
I was hearing it as Bungie.
I guess it was Bunchy, so it made sense that you heard it as that.
Mhm.
I was hearing it wrong. Yes.
I'm gonna refer to them as Sabretooth, Trixie, Angelina Jolie's dad.
And Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider's dad.
Tomb Raider's dad. He plays
He
plays Richard Croft
That's
in
right,
the
I
Tomb
forgot.
Raider movie.
And he's also a real dad.
Yeah.
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 But more importantly, he's Lara Croft's real dad.
Tomb Raider's dad.
Tomb Raider's dad. We're here today in TV to talk about the new Showtime series Ray Donovan, which airs. Let's start over.
I say airs on Sunday nights at 10.
Airs on Sunday nights at 10.
Whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Clean sweep. Back in.
Alright, clean sleep. Hey everybody, wow.
Start over.
I looked over and
Clean sweep.
John just...
Woo!
Alright, everybody.
I can't look at Derek. It's
Bring
just
it
gonna
back
make me laugh.
down.
It's gonna make me laugh. All right, here we go.
Everybody back down.
I'm ready.
I almost said Ray Donahue as well. I could never be a newscaster. Do you have the time already? Can you restart it since we're fucking around here?